All right, y'all, we're taking a look at this boudoir photography business today. Gonna see if it has BSS for either of these two Google searches. So we're back here in the GBC universe where we take declining boudoir photographers, make them the #1 boudoir photographer in their city. As always, our North Star is FSIC, full spectrum intent capture. Look at the pinned post, pinned video, home video, whatever, where we talk more about that. We focus on FSIC because FSIC explains why all boudoir photographers either rise or fall. So we got our intent spectrum here, way on the left highest intent, way on the right lowest intent. So if a boudoir photography business is rising, they're most likely bringing in everyone from this entire intent spectrum, from highest to lowest intent. And if we got a boudoir photography business that is falling, most likely we are missing chunks of people somewhere here on this intent spectrum. So here we focus on BSS, way on the left, the highest intent peeps. This is social search, Google search, searching for boudoir photo shoot in my in your city. And way over on the right, that's our sister brand. Got different profiles for that. Boudoir FB Ad Doctor. That's where we're talking about BLCS getting in front of the lowest intent people in our city, which are actually the largest volume of peeps. And right now we're currently only working with boudoir photographers spending more than $10,000 a month on boudoir Facebook ads. So BSS is boudoir search sameness. This one, a boudoir photographer has 0 or 1 slots on page 1 of Google. So 0 or 1 slots on page 1 of Google, 0 slots. I mean, we're down to fast death here, because we know that approximately 80% of boudoir or of Google searches never go to page 2. They are page 1 only searches. So literally, it's approximately 80% of searches. That's obviously the bulk of the market. So the bulk of the market never even sees page 2. So yeah, not good to be there. 1 slot on page 1 is also not good enough. Because if there's 10 organic slots. If there's 9 other boudoir photographers, everyone's got a slot. That means a buyer's just clicking everyone's link, contacting everyone. That could be, 9 other competitors price shopping us, price comparing us. So 1 slot, we don't even look any different than anyone else. So 1 slot is simply not enough. And 0 1 slots on page 1 in Google is actually not normal. Extremely common, accepted, but actually not normal. It's actually a symptom of 2 deeper root causes. So to have so few page 1 slots on Google is not normal. And the 2 deeper root causes causing this are A, market saturation, and B, the false belief of page 1 equality. So market saturation, yeah, everyone knows that. Over time there's more and more boudoir photographers entering the market. It's because whenever anyone gets a new iPhone, they throw up their Google My Business profile, throw up a website. Now they compete in page 1 organic search with us with their website, saying that they do boudoir photo shoots. Also, if anyone gets a camera, now they're posting in the mom Facebook group saying they do boudoir photo shoots. Lower in prices, lower margins from everyone, and actually making it harder for all the sellers. So there's more sellers to the same number of buyers, makes it harder for all the sellers. And B, the false belief of page 1 equality. Dude, this is the #1 killer of boudoir photography businesses. This is, to believe page 1 equality is to believe, yeah, every boudoir photographer gets like 0 1 slots on page 1, and if you had 1 slot on page 1, then a new boudoir photographer came in, now they're on page 1, you got bumped down on page 2. It's kind of like, oh, that's how it is. That's how it is. And nobody's taking any effort to correct it. It's not normal to be kicked off of, to stay on page 2 and have 0 slots on page 1. It's not normal to have even 1 slot on page 1. It's been accepted that everyone gets either 0 or 1 slots on page 1, and that's simply how it is. Incorrect. And I know it's incorrect because I went from 0 out of 1 slot, 0 out of 10 slots on Google page 1 to 9 out of 10 slots on Google page 1 for my desired keyword in 10 days. We'll see pictures of that in a few pics. So people accepting the false belief of page 1 equality, well, they accept that it's true. #1 killer boudoir photography businesses from what I've seen. And we also know that a boudoir photographer with boudoir search sameness is a disappearing boudoir photographer, a DBP. So we're building up our micro universe here. A disappearing boudoir photographer with boudoir search sameness is caused by market saturation and page 1 equality, the false belief of page 1 equality, thinking that there's nothing we can do. It's kind of like we believed it was true, we auto accepted it, we didn't even question it, so we're kind of like mentally in a box, so we couldn't even punch through the box to see, oh, there is a solution out there. And thankfully we have that solution. We have it because we invented it. We know that BSS is treated with social search saturation, aka S cubed methodology. It is exactly what it says. We're saturating social search with the highest buyer intent keywords for people who want to buy a boudoir photo shoot in their city right now. And when we saturate social search with those keywords, what actually happens is there's kind of like the small little streams on the backside of the Andes Mountains that then flows into the large Amazon River, which is page one on Google. So if we successfully saturate social search, then it is, and if we keep saturating it, it's inevitable we'll eventually take as many slots on page Google as we want, depending on how much effort we want to put in. Now, what is amazing about S-cubed methodology is the only thing that I've seen for boudoir photographers that can successfully fight back against market saturation with relatively quick results. Obviously, the one thing, as always, is brand. I can fight back against market saturation, but dude, that takes 5 years, 10 years. We ain't got that time anymore. AI is coming, taking people's jobs. We literally do not have the time. We need something that gets faster results. Faster results. Give me the faster results. We ain't got time to build a brand. But also, S-cubed methodology helps us to build a brand faster and quicker than anyone else, any other method available elsewhere. So it's kind of a double bonus using S-cubed methodology. So here's how it fights back market saturation. Let's say we're in Seattle, Washington. There's a million boudoir photographers. We're one of them. Everyone's got a website saying they shoot boudoir. They're a boudoir photographer. Everyone's competing to rank page one on Google. So we crank up S-cubed methodology to the maximum. And what we actually do is we rank for the highest intent keywords across social search, for the first 300 slots. And so if people search those keywords, for boudoir photo shoot in Seattle on social, the first 300 slots are taken up by us. And as a result, let's say that flows onto Google as well, and it dominates. We're taking the first 300 slots on Google as well. And so anytime anyone in our city searches on social or Google, dude, literally the first 30 pages on Google, at least, they can only find us because it's basically like 10 organic slots per page, and literally 30 pages full of us. And it's our competitors literally got to go to page 31 to even find us in the first place. And dude, we already know 80% of searchers don't even go to page 2. They're page 1 only, so they ain't going to page 31. And so we're essentially the only one that boudoir photo shoot buyers can find, which means whose business is growing? Our business is growing because we're dominating search everywhere for the highest intent keywords. People searching for boudoir photo shoots now, in Seattle now. We're closest to the money now. And we're growing. Everyone else is disappearing. They're shrinking. And again, that's the only thing that I've seen that successfully can outcompete market saturation in the short term and in the long term, because it actually turns into brand in the long term anyways. So this is some magic stuff we got here. Now, once you're with S-cubed methodology, we have page one visibility. And a bonus of this is we're actually kicking competing boudoir photographers off page one, effectively making them invisible. Because again, approximately 80% of Google searches never even make it to page two. They're page one search only. So more people we kick off, more buyers never even see them, the fewer boudoir photographers we've been price shopped against. Awesome. That's kind of an extra initial benefit from utilizing S-cubed methodology. Now, page one visibility activates boudoir search visibility for us. And our GBC recommended level is to hit a minimum of 3 out of 10 page one slots on Google, because that means we're kicking out 2 or 3 boudoir photographers from page one we can be price shopped or compared against, that are 80% of buyers ain't ever going to see them anyway, because they ain't never going to hit page two. And so if we got 3 slots on page one, we're looking way better than all those that have 1 slot, which is basically going to be everyone else. Going to look way more trustworthy. Kind of subconsciously, buyers going to think, "Oh, why is Google recommending this person 3 times? We better check them out, and maybe not even check out the other people on page one." And then 3 slots better than 2 slots, because yeah, there's a small chance another competitor may have 2 slots on page one. But if we successfully outcompete them, dude, guess what? I mean, if we got 3 slots, we're looking better than them anyway. So we're looking better than all competitors with 0 slots or 1 slot or 2 slots. We're looking way better than that. That's boudoir search visibility. We also know that boudoir photographer with boudoir search visibility, BSV, is a visible boudoir photographer, VBP. This is our micro universe here. A disappearing boudoir photographer with boudoir search sameness is caused by market saturation, the dual horns, market saturation, and page one, the false belief of page one equality. That's fine. Thankfully, we now have a solution, S-cubed methodology. We achieve page one visibility, and we become a visible boudoir photographer with boudoir search visibility. All right, my results here using S-cubed methodology for myself, because yes, I invented it. I want to rank for the keyword BLCS boudoir. Okay, I used it over 10 days. My results got slot 1, me. Slot 2, me. Slot 3, me. Slot 4, me. Slot 5, me. Slot 6, me. Slot 7, me. Slot 8, me. Slot 10, me. No website necessary. And so I went from 0 out of 10 slots on page 1 to 9 out of 10 slots on page 1 Google search in 10 days, purely by using S-cubed methodology. So now we're here to the main event, the main course. Gonna see if this boudoir photographer has BSS for either of these Google searches, so local search and a city search. So let's see. So first look in Gretna, Nebraska, and we got, all right, so we're going to the organic search. So we got 1. Yeah, we got 2. Well, we don't have the word boudoir here, so we don't count that. Slot 3 here, we got boudoir, that counts as 2. Think of micro photography. Okay, we'll count the 2 without the boudoir. We'll count that as 1. So we got 3 out of 10 slots. Here we go. 4 out of 10 slots. Here's a boudoir. Here's a one that has boudoir on it, and boudoir right there. 5. And then we got and then let's see. Looks like we got 6 here actually. So we got 6 out of 10 for local search. So this is super amazing. And all right, so local search is perfect. And now we're going to go to city search, Omaha, Nebraska. So we're going to go down to the organic. Let's see how many we got local search as well. First, for the city search, see we got, all right, we got, nope, no. All right, so it looks like, all right, dude, we're literally pulling in 0 peeps from Omaha. So we literally got 0 out of 10. So we definitely got BSS for the second search, the city search. But so Gretna, no BSS. We actually hit the GBC minimum, at least 3 out of 10. And Omaha, Nebraska, we're not hitting the, we do have BSS and we're not hitting the GBC minimum of 3 out of 10. So if you're a boudoir photographer, disappearing boudoir photographer, you've got boudoir search sameness. You're seeing market saturation coming up. It's going to become more and more saturated. You know that page 1 equality is a false belief. You kind of didn't think about it before, but now you're like, yeah, dude, why is everyone, why is no one trying to take more slots page 1? And you're seeing with the AI, way AI is going, there's going to be taking more people's jobs, pushing more people to become boudoir photographers on top of when they get a new iPhone, they're a new boudoir photographer, or if they get a new camera, they're a new boudoir photographer. And so you're seeing the last time a lot of people lost their jobs was COVID, and then a whole deluge of boudoir photographers came into the market. So you're saying, all right, that's probably going to happen again, and you want to get prepared. And you're seeing that there's also back-end benefits of this S-cubed methodology that we haven't talked about yet, but you're seeing, hey, This execute methodology, you want to use this. You want to keep rolling with it because you know it can fight back against market saturation faster than any other solution. The only other thing would be, building like a brand, but that takes years. And you realize, and the other things on the back end of this is, if you got all these kind of bundles of keywords under your business, your brand that you're ranking for, that's a higher chance you show up in the AI search overview when you rank for all these keywords using the SQ'd methodology, and higher chance you rank for AI search as a backend benefit. ChatGPT search, whatever, Claude search, Perplexity search, Microsoft Copilot search, Google Gemini search, because they look for kind of bundles of keywords around a business, themes, thematic columns. And so you're like, man, I was able to get page one on Google and page one on all these search, social search, and kind of get the back end benefits of higher probability of AI me being the only one AI overview or being included in AI search. Where the last time I used AI search to search for a boudoir photographer in a city, it gave me 3. Those were ChatGPT. It gave me 3. So a higher chance you become one of the 3 by having all the highest intent keywords focused, kind of thematically bundled as like pillars underneath your brand name. And you're also noticing that if some other boudoir photographer goes first to start using this in your area, then, well, you can't work with me anymore. So you'd have to figure it all out yourself and then equal them in work to maintain so they don't take over page one, or, most likely need to double them in work to actually make progress at getting more slots on page one that they were taking. So if you decided, okay, it's better just be the first goer and solidify your position, get the highest chance of basically being market saturation proof, busting that false belief of page one inequality, then shoot me a DM when my DM's open. My DMs are closed right now. New patient intake at the hospital is currently closed. But when we do open up for a new patient intake, shoot me a DM, we'll see if you qualify, and I'll have some questions for you.